Hello and welcome to HEX Crypto Spabu Show. Today we have a lot of topics prepared for you. We will talk about the tour, about HEX, about Pulse. At the end we will have a technical analysis as well. And of course the most important topic of today is the PulseX Sacrifice is going amazing. So Patrick, what do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, also hello from my side. Hello everybody out there. I hope everybody is doing fine. And we have a lot of things to talk about. Let's just put it in order and go in the timeline. So tomorrow right now we are here in Houston, and tomorrow there is our workshop here in Houston. If you haven't RSVP'd yet and you are in the area or you know people who are in the area, please send them to freedomtv.info where they find the address and where they can RSVP for our event tomorrow. Then on Saturday we will meet with Nagabo, who is in the area as well, and then next week we are driving to Dallas, and then of course, as you can also see on freedomtv.info, next Friday will be our workshop in Dallas, and then we have two awesome Hexicans by the name CC and JC, a couple who is inviting us. So on Saturday next week in Dallas, we will drive to them. They invited us to their place. They are preparing everything for us, and we will do a workshop there as well. And it's awesome to see those Hexicans come out, by their own and just say, we are planning everything for you. Just come, make your program, and let's have fun on the day. So thanks for that to those two guys. Then the week after, we are going to be in Austin, and in Austin we have planned another OG meetup like we also had it in New York, Miami and New Orleans. Alan, what was your favorite OG meetup of those three we had?
Of course, the first one in New York, I missed a little bit, but I got to experience the party, and for me this was the best OG meetup so far. But then, of course, Miami came along, and we had two yachts, one big mansion, and then this was, of course, the best one. It's always like this. It's always the best until the next best one happens, and maybe the next best one will be in Houston or in Dallas.
In New Orleans, we also had a blast, right? On the casino night boat party where we rented out the whole deck. A lot of Hexicans there as well, and was a lot of fun as well, especially to the prizes. We had a young winner there. You remember?
So let's put up my screen share, and then we can also show to the people what you already explained, where we are and so on, because this is what I wanted to do first, but then you were so fast going on explaining what we do. So what the people see here right now is all our tour dates, and like you said, right now we are in Houston and next week in Dallas, and there are only so few stops left, guys. Austin, San Antonio, Phoenix, and then the last stop, the HEX conference. So if you want to join, contact us as soon as possible and go to freedomtv.info for all the tour schedule. And now, Patrick, look at this. Houston, already 67 plus RSVPs. And
awesome.
To
calculate the three
ones
so
as well,
70.
Right? And that's why I said 70 people already RSVP'd on the Twitter here. And this is really, really amazing. Why? Because most of the time the people RSVP, and then they also bring friends and family. Also, sometimes people do not RSVP but still come. So maybe it's going to be a turnout of like 100 people or something like that.
Really looking
forward. One of the biggest so far.
Awesome what the community brings together and really helps us to double the tour.
And then, of course, the next one is Dallas. You already mentioned that as well. But what I want to show here is that Richard Hart actually retweeted this flyer here. So again, we are expecting a lot of people to come. So let's find Richard here really, really quick to verify what I just said. And then
he was the first one retweeting it.
He was the first. Up there. You saw him? With this new Facebook picture, I can sometimes there he is. Second one, Black Hexican was the first one. So thank you, Richard, for giving us a shout out. It really, really helps bringing the people to the conferences.
So Black Hexican front Richard was retweeting us?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then the people always ask, well, where can I see the schedule? Of course, freedomtv.info. And then you just scroll down a little bit, and here you find the whole schedule. I'm already on the Houston one, but here we can click on Dallas, for example, or in Austin. You find all the informations down here.
Yeah, and then on the 29th, there would be the event where we got invited from the Hexicans. So thanks for that a lot.
Oh yeah, the 29th is the event that we got invited for the Hexicans. Well, Patrick, maybe we can explain this to the American as well here. What are we doing here?
Sure. So on the 23rd, it's this Sunday. We so we are the speakers about HEX Pulse and PulseX when it comes to the German community. There is nobody else, and we really have like educational hole to fill there. And in the German-speaking areas, there is also an online conference going on over this weekend. It's called Cryptopia 2022, and with some speakers about NFTs, about Bitcoin, about Ethereum, about wallets, and so on. And we will also have a spot there on the 23rd. It's like over midday in the American time frames and time zones, and we will talk about HEX, Pulse, and PulseX during our workshop, and then after that, in a couple of weeks, we also have a little course for all the participants, free of charge, as always, of Crypto Sparbuch. And this is like on 4 different days, just privately with those German speakers who are interested about HEX Pulse and PulseX, where we go in detail over the whole system to make them
understand HEX,
HEX, Pulse, and PulseX.
And what is really cool about the Cryptopia, it is a German conference, and they made a lot of effort. And look, they even draw Patrick and I here, so they can have us in the description trailer as well. I think this was really, really cool. I'm really excited about this event. But
yeah, if you like our avatars there, please don't forget to like and subscribe here on the stream.
So I think this is a good point to say hello to the chat. We have David Morales, One Love, we have Retrotastic, Ash, we have Hexologist even seeing this group. Hi Hexologist, how's it going?
Hi Hexo.
Casios, Unfolded. Thank you guys so much for being here, S. Bodenzone and Jerry. I hope you like our stream, so please go ahead and like and subscribe, and also hit the bell, because you guys know we are on the road and a little bit irregular, and you want to be informed when we do a live stream, right?
Yeah. So let's go on with our explanation before we go to the in-depth crypto analysis, crypto market, and so on. So we stopped in Dallas. Then the week after, we are going to be in Austin. In Austin, we are planning another of those OG meetups, as said before, and we are still in the planning phase. But what will definitely happen is on Friday the workshop, and then on Saturday the main OG event. I just throw out some things here: racing, party bus, and some kind of stuff, and then Sunday brunch, interviews, maybe some live streaming as well, and so on. So will be a cool event. Definitely in a few days we will be done with our whole planning phase, and then of course OGs, we will contact you directly as well if you want to come. So please don't plan anything between the 4th and the 6th of February in a few weeks from now. Let's bring the community again together, like in New York, like in Miami, like in New Orleans, and let's have fun together. It's always a blast to meet the OGs and have fun together, guys.
Exactly, and what I just brought up here is a t.me/US road trip. So if the people want to come and want to help, maybe tell us where's a good accommodation, where's a good spot for workshops, then go ahead to US Road Trip Telegram chat and send us all the information that we need. And maybe you want to be part of the team as well, plan a party, then go ahead, and US Road Trip chat is your place to go.
You know that it looks like right now as you were talking to yourself?
Yes, and this is the next thing I want to bring up. You already see the screen share, and a lot of people ask how they can get involved. And we have publicly addressed our Ethereum donation address. You see it right here in the screen. It ends with an A905, and all the donations that you guys send will specifically be used to promote HEX in the future. And those events that you just said, they are there to onboard no coiners, and they work really, really good.
Exactly. So let's go on here. After Austin, we need to fly out for a week because we are tourists here in America, and every 90 days we need a new tourist visa. So let's leave the country, but we don't need to go home in our Austria or Germany. We can just hop to another country, and we decided to go to the Bahamas. So if anybody also wants to spend a holiday week on the Bahamas, please go ahead and contact us on DMs, and we can connect we can connect, and maybe you would also like to spend a week with Crypto Sparbuch on the Bahamas. Week after that, Phoenix, and then after Phoenix, we are already driving to Vegas, where we would end our official tour, where we would be done with our 40 stops, where we would be done with our 20,000 miles through the country in 6 months. And we are really looking forward 6th to the 9th Vegas event. Don't plan to only come on the 6th. Maybe you also want to come 1 or even 2 days earlier. You know, we will be there over the weekend, which leads to the conference. So maybe you would also like to already join us at the weekend before the conference is starting. And then Alan wants to say something about this hats we have here, right?
Exactly, this is the reason why we have this hat here. This hat here is one of the original hats from Las Vegas. You can recognize it by this one. Then the OG who provided all those hats, his name is Casey, bought 300 more to donate to all the Hexicans, and now all the Hexicans are wearing the hat. You guys know it. And this is why the Crypto Sparbuch team is thinking we need more hats out there, because we have over 75,000 stakers now and barely anybody has a hat. So what we are doing is we are buying how many hats?
300.
300 hats, and we will give them away for free on the Las Vegas HEX conference. So please come and grab a hat, because it's my duty to distribute all of those hats, so we do not have any leftovers.
Yeah, Nardo for the Win is helping you out already. He already contacted us and yeah, guys, give me 10% of the hat. I will donate something to you, and for him that he can spread them out in his area.
And again, if you want to help donating hats as well, go to my Twitter, abit_hex, and there you will find the donation address. Or you go to all our links of the Crypto Sparbuch, you can do that too, and there you find the donation address, and then you can just be part of donating hats. I think this is really, really important that the HEX community is doing marketing like this.
And Ivid, you know that Nardo, even as he is at home right now, is still with us on tour, because he left like one of his private cabs in the Pulse chain car. So kind of, Nardo, you're still with us on tour.
Nardo, pick up your hat. And also we have always leftovers after our parties. So we have sweatshirts left over, we have some glasses left over. There are a lot of things left over, and I have to find out who it belongs to. It's a little bit hard, but all right. Okay, so you guys see our donation address here in the screen as well. We'll put that away. And let's go over to the crypto topics, I guess, right?
Yeah, now let's start with crypto, I would say. So let's have a look what the PulseX Sacrifice phase is doing. What do you say?
Yes, for that I have already Richard's tweet open here, and you guys can see.
Just a second that we can bring it up, so now everybody sees it.
Tweeted neat. They added BNB BSC assets to PulseXLead.com. So now we see a little bit more about what is going on here. Almost $1 billion in Ethereum and BSC already, not including all the other chains. You would have to go to their block explorer to see that. But it's an amazing start for the PulseX Sacrifice so far, right?
Yes, so I would say let's change to my screen share, and then I walk you guys over that a little bit more in detail. So first of all, let's go to PulseX.com, the main website. If you still haven't sacrificed, from here in the top right corner, PulseX.info leads you to another site which gives you a step-by-step instruction depending which chain you want to sacrifice from. Here we only have the Ethereum chain with $940 million US, and here we see how the sacrifice phase will work out. So down here we see like how the timeline is. December 29th it started till January 10th. There was like no time loss. From there on, the time loss rate is increasing by 5% a day. We see the curve here until the 21st of February. The white line is like the current day, and then in the last few days with the highest time loss, but there would be a fixed multiplier. This time this is like not beneficial, like it for the in general. So back then in the Pulse chain sacrifice set, this was a way shorter time frame where those last few days opened up another possibility for latecomers to go in. This time, this time loss is already way higher because we have a longer time loss time frame, and it won't be beneficial. So if you haven't sacrificed right now, please do it as fast as possible, because in a few days from now you would already need $2 instead of just $1 in order to get the same sacrifice points. So in the beginning was $1 for 10,000 points, now it's already 171, and in a few days from now it will be over $2 already. Here you see like when the rate is changing for the next day and so on, the timer, and then I would say let's go over the PulseX lead side where we see now the chains combined and so on. What do you say?
Yeah. Do you have it already open, or you want me to open up?
I already have it open here, the PulseX lead sacrifice set, and when you click here, show me a comprehensive sacrifice breakdown, we see the orange ones, the Binance Smart Chain, and the blue ones, the Ethereum chain. If you go with your mouse here over, you can see like the number of coins as well. And now let's compare a little bit the PulseX sacrifice set with the Pulse chain sacrifice. Back in the days, Pulse chain sacrifice, everybody was like, oh, I don't know if that's like the right play of Richard, and then it was like a really short period of time, only 19 days, and now in the months afterwards, people are realizing, shit, I should have sacrificed for Pulse chain as well, because it will be a great opportunity with all this new liquidity, yield farming, and the pairing of the ERC and the PRC20 coins. So like really cool chain. And now let's see what PulseX is already doing. So here, place number 1, $48 million, place number 2, $30 million. And if we scroll down, all the top 100 at least sacrificed over $1 million US. And now let's head over to the Pulse lead sacrifice set. We see that we only had like 670 million compared to now 940 only from the Ethereum chain. With other chains combined, it was still like about only 700 US dollars. And here, place number 1, 30 million, place number 2, 20 million USDC. So way less than what we see now for the PulseX sacrifice set. And if you scroll down here, you see that only 75 people put it in more than 1 million, and then it already ramps down. So when it comes to PulseX, there is way more traction, way more volume going on. And here, count of wallets who have sacrificed 42,000.
Maybe you can have a really quick stop here, because this really fits into this question from Liam here.
Sure.
Do you think PulseX going to be bigger than Pulse Chain?
Yes, I mean, when you say bigger, it depends what you mean. Do you mean like a higher price? I don't know. Do you mean like bigger in the meaning of more total supply and like more attraction? So
More
like
gains is meant.
More gains is
Always.
meant. I don't know. Honestly, I think Pulse Chain will make more gains in the next 24 months than PulseX.
It's really hard to say, but somebody had a really good point on that. Well, everybody gonna have their ERC20 tokens for free on the Pulse chain. So in order to do something with them, you want to have Pulse a little bit, right? So you can have, you can do and transact. So if everybody wants to transact on Pulse chain, maybe this is gonna pick up faster in the beginning, but at the end, of course, we have no idea. All I'm thinking is that PulseX gonna be a massive bridge, right, between Ethereum and Pulse.
Yeah, I mean the bridge itself is like between the blockchains, so between the Ethereum blockchain and the Pulse blockchain. It is not like the PulseX bridge, but it is the bridge between the two blockchains. And then on the Pulse chain blockchain, you will find the PulseX DEX, so the decentralized exchange on the Pulse chain, and there you can pair your free PRC20 with your bridged in ERC20 to provide liquidity in order to yield farm the reward token of the decentralized exchange of PulseX.
Exactly. So another question from Ash is here, you want the free airdrop PRC20s, got to get Pulse to get them. But also you could get HEX right now and then also switch that for Pulse or PulseX, right?
Yeah, or go in the PulseX Sacrifice set and take some of this back in order to buy Pulse.
But this was just a question for in between. You wanted to go on with this here now.
Kind of. So just to say that there is a lot of more traction on the PulseX Sacrifice set than it was on the Pulse Chain Sacrifice set, because there we had, for example, 42,000 addresses, and here we already have 111,680. So we have like 3x the amount of traction on PulseX compared to Pulse Chain.
And why do you think this is? Why is
because
PulseX going so good?
People are just realizing over the time what great deal they missed when it comes to the Pulse Chain sacrificing, and that's why those people are saying, I don't miss that again, you know.
I believe so too. We had so few people in HEX when HEX really started. Then there was so much FUD. People got flooded out. Then more people found into Pulse, right? We see that on the Pulse Sacrifice. And then even more people found PulseX now. So I have the feeling then once everything starts, when the fork is out and everything has a price, that people will tumble into Pulse and also PulseX and also HEX, because they missed the gains in the past and they just want to stake and earn 40% APY for sure. All right, so this is the PulseX and Pulse topic here. Is there something else that you want to show right now on your screen share?
No, on the screen share I am good for now. Only if you already want to do the price analysis of the HEX price.
Not yet. Of course, we will get there to the TA of HEX. Here's another question of Yes. Good job, guys. Do you have any idea HEX made how many millionaires?
About 700 to 1,000.
700 to 1,000, of course.
It depends a little bit. Like if you only calculate addresses, then you can say, okay, the last dolphin needs to have at least 1,000 T-shares, and then it depends like how he splitted those 1,000 T-shares out. But 1,000 T-shares should, as a T-share is over $1,000, so that should be definitely a millionaire. So there are 900 dolphins, there are nearly 100 sharks and some whales. And now it depends, like if you want to say that everybody is like a single person in this list of addresses, or if you also say that a lot of people have like multiple accounts. That's why I would say like still under 1,000 individuals.
All right, Patrick. I have a different question here from you, from somebody in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
What is if you have not found HEX yet? Pulse Sacrifice went by too fast, so you was not able to catch that. And now PulseX is going on, but the rate is up already, and you do not want to sacrifice for that. What else could you do to make sure you can swap your financial energy into PulseX or Pulse on the fork?
What you can also do is just hold 0.05 Ethereum and buy HEX right now, because then with the copied HEX you can act right away after the fork, and with the 0.05 Ethereum you get free 0.05 Pulse, and with 0.05 Pulse coins you will be able to make several transactions in the beginning, even before the bridge is in existence.
Exactly. On this time, it will be the only way to change your crypto into Pulse and PulseX, right?
Yeah. The thing is, if you don't do the little bit of Ethereum right now, you won't be able to transact on the Pulse chain, because you need PLS in order to transact. Other people who are like only on the Binance Smart Chain, they are, for example, still sacrificing like $10 to the Pulse chain sacrifice set in order to get like 2 or 3 PLS in the beginning, because they don't want to bother with the Ethereum fees right now.
Yeah, I've not even thought about it.
There are several things into play. That's like also a reason why you still see those little sacrifices on the Pulse chain sacrifice.
Okay, Patrick, how many T-shares for being a shark?
For being a shark, 10,500, 10,600, so like 0.01% of all the T-shares.
Next question. What month
more.
does Pulse Chain go live? Your guess. You already know when the PulseX Sacrifice ends, right? When is that?
I mean, the longer I think about it, the later my guess is, and I hope April, but it could be May.
Franklin is saying the sacrifice rate is still good. Do you confirm that?
It's 1.71 cents dollars for 10,000 sacrifice points. I mean, are you in crypto only for a 2x?
No.
Then it's still a good rate, you know.
That's true. Hex Bullrun is saying 1.5k millionaires Hex has made already. I think this is a little bit higher number than you had.
Yeah, I mean, it always depends like how to calculate it, you know, with liquid Hex people or only like staking addresses. And if you calculate like individual addresses and say, like, okay, everybody in this list is a single person, then maybe, but with this 1,500, I guess that was like back on the top with 50 cents.
Yeah, maybe. The question from Hex Softball: does the Hex PLS pair on Pulse Chain create buying pressure for Hex after it goes live?
Again, the question?
Does the Hex PLS pair on Pulse Chain create buying pressure for Hex after go live?
We will need to see that. I don't know yet which coins will have a correlation to each other. My best guess is that Pulse and PulseX will have like a huge paired liquidity, so they might be correlated to each other. And I don't know yet if Hex like correlates with the other two coins, or if Hex is still like a little bit of a decorrelated coin. And the more I think about it, I would say that Hex will be a little bit more decorrelated than correlated to PLS and PLSX. Why is that? Because I think that a lot of people, especially right in front of the fork, will buy Hex in order to purchase Pulse and PulseX in the beginning. So if people are really doing that afterwards, what is happening is that the ratio goes towards Pulse and towards PulseX and away from Hex. So that would mean that Hex is decorrelated in the beginning from Pulse and PulseX.
Great question, though. We have Jay-Z Hexing here in the chat with us.
Hey, nice.
He is the OG in Dallas who invited us into their home to sleep over for a couple of days, and then we will also do a party there. Isn't that great? And this is what we meant by doubling the tour. Hexicans, if you want to help us doubling the tour, just do like Jay-Z Hexing did and provide us with a place to sleep, maybe a venue to do a little party and stuff like this. Go to the US road trip to chat with us, and then we can make things happen. So Jay-Z, thank you so much for making that possible, and I cannot wait to stay in your house and really get the American lifestyle, you know, like I had it before, like 15 years ago. That was really, really exciting. Okay, next question. Franklin Sand Hex is saying, Hex Lion, I forgot Richard's answer about your auto market maker question. What was your question about the auto market maker that you asked Richard?
Yeah, so my question was, Richard, what is the AMM bot doing in the Hex USDC liquidity pair? And his answer was like he will harvest the liquidity from everything and puts it back to the PulseX exchange. And I still don't understand it like 100%. Like, how does this work out? My guys in the background are telling me that it is because in this first Genesis block, you can only in this one you can do like a lot of things. Okay, you're forking the chain and then you're inserting the new parameters of this chain, and this comes like in the first few blocks or within the first block even. I don't know like how fast it will be processed. And it means that just all the liquidity which before was on Uniswap or before was on Sushi. Can you tell that?
Sushi Swap?
Yes, thank you. Will be harvested and re-put it on the PulseX decentralized exchange. And it doesn't matter like with pairs and so on and with all that. In the Genesis block you can move things around, but I'm not a developer, so how that exactly works out technically I have still no idea. I'm curious to find out though.
Fun question, so answer really, really quick. How many years before PulseX hits $1?
$1? Oof, $1 is a lot. $1 is a lot with considering like how much coins each and everybody has in their wallet.
Well, I already saw people saying that PulseX will be like $40 really shortly after launch, just because the sacrifice is going so amazing. Well, let's see.
I disagree.
I would love to have that. Well, here at the end of the question, it says, I know this is a gray area question, and this question is about the code, so it cannot be a gray area question, and you know this question exactly, so it is perfect for you. Question from Hex Softball. What happens to the calculated hex interest while locked in good accounting, since you technically still have the T-shares?
No. That's the misunderstanding. You technically don't have the T-shares anymore when your stake is matured and gets good accounted. Because by running the good accounting function, you're burning the T-shares, but you leave the principal and the accrued interest in the code. So only if you then come back and run the end stake function, you're minting back your principal and you're minting your own rewards, you're minting all the accrued interest. And only with the end stake function, the share rate is affected, not with the good accounting function. But when you already ran the good accounting functions, your T-shares are already burned.
All right. You see, as it comes to the hex code, there's never a gray area here.
That's true. I mean, never.
Oh, wait. Yes, there is a gray area. You remember when we talked about that the Hexicans, because they are staking, delaying the inflation even more and more and more, which is like totally fine, right? But now with your OA, with your OA stakes that you would end it 14 days later, you could even cheat the code a little bit.
Yeah, cheat the code. It's only like that you reduce the yearly inflation from 3.69 to maybe 3.68.
So basically you kill 14 days of inflation, will never ever hit the market or be in existence, and this should have never happened, right?
I mean, what do you mean? It should have. Yeah, I mean, of course, because the code is only acting when somebody presses a button. The code is not doing anything by its own.
I think this was a really, really interesting topic here. So, is PulseCon 22 a real project?
Yes, PulseCon 2022 is a real project hosted by freedomtv.info, by Barry and T-Money in Vegas. Will be held at the Resorts World and is a 3 or 4 day event as well. I guess 3 days. I haven't talked to T-Money.
But it's a real thing, and we already put it in our calendar.
It's definitely a real thing, and I'm already planning of coming back to the US in September. You know, so like in March we are ending the tour, then we do some private stuff in our own lives for a few months. Ellen has like something crazy planned as well, and then we will meet back in September in Vegas.
Patrick, here's a really interesting question from J-Not.
Sure.
Could you please have a guess at what the swap ratio would be swapping PulseX to PLS? I guess at the fork, for example, when we do not have a price.
For one pulse you will need between 2 and 20 PulseX. That's my guess in the beginning.
Between 2 and 20 PulseX.
Yeah, I know it's a big range, but it has never been done before, so it's hard to get like a smaller range.
Franklin is saying, thoughts on circulating USDC pair? On circle invading USDC pair, they technically can't invalidate the new supply since it would mess up the books. However, if they didn't invalidate, they would hurt the pair customers. They're paying customers. Yeah, that's true. And that's why I guess USDC and Coinbase, they will just not use the admin keys to lock their people on the Ethereum chain.
Yeah, I don't know what will happen exactly. I'm also thinking about that a lot, like what will be the stablecoin strategy, because theoretically speaking, the bot could just harvest all the liquidity on the decentralized exchanges and then reallocate just crypto pairs at first at the PulseX exchange, and then wait for the few days until the bridge is live, and then bridge in the real sacrificed stablecoins, and only create stablecoin crypto pairs 2 or 3 days later when the bridge is live. So there are a lot of plays which could turn out, you know.
Hex Softball is saying most projects that were built on top of Hex or copying its aspects have basically all failed. Is there any other recent project that you're seeing heavily potential in? So for me, not. I know there are projects out there, people talk about it, Hexicans talk about it, but as there are no audits for projects, I'm not interested at all, and we are really, really busy holding our Hex and getting rich with that, so I'm not interested in anything else but Richard Hart projects.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that in our workshops as well when we talk about the fundamentals of Hex. So those fundamentals should be the case for each and every cryptocurrency out there in our point of view. And if a cryptocurrency is not finished, if it's not audited, if it's a little unclear, if the team behind it is just there for the glory, or if they still want to enrich themselves, then as of right now, we just don't have the time to put so much research into that, and we are fine with HEX staking. We know code is law, and there we cannot do anything wrong. And why change a system which works so awesome since over 2 years?
Patrick, which coin on the Pulse chain will become a hit on the Pulse chain? Maybe something like dog coins? No, I don't think so, because they do not have utility. You already said Hex, because with Hex you can make yield. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, I also think that some other coins will get good traction, you know, so other coins who are heavily weighted on making transaction on chain, for example, you know, like blockchain games, decentralized blockchain games, for example. I guess they will get real life, you know, on the Pulse.
Oh, they will love the Pulse, so they can play all their games again, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, people love to play games, you know, why I mean, you know, I don't hear so much of failures of casinos, for example. You know, that all the casinos go bankrupt or something like that. So people like to gamble, people like to play, and I think Pulse chain might open up a whole new market for decentralized blockchain games.
All right, here's a really good question from Paul as well. Hey, I'm new to this and I have sacrificed for PLSX. What are the next steps? How should I progress?
I mean, you can buy more HEX if you still want to dollar cost average in. You know, you shouldn't buy only once and then leave it like that. It's always like a accumulation phase, the dollar cost averaging in, it's called. So until the fork, you know, during the sacrifice phase, maybe there is not so much new attention for HEX to buy, so maybe now is the greatest time to accumulate your HEX back. And once we come near to the launch date, cryptocurrency prices tend to go up only based on announcements, so there is a good possibility that the HEX price moves up towards the start of the Pulse chain.
Oh, that's a really good question, because we had this question already when $1, right?
So of what HEX?
So now we
of this year.
Actually, at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. What are we talking about, right? So Patrick,
actually, it matters a little bit, you know, because new. It's like the same thing when HEX started, you know, to talk about HEX at $1. It was just so far away, and maybe within a 3-year time frame, we will already get there. So
HEX to $1, we already came so close, right? The last top at 55 cents, amazing. And I remember 1 year ago, everybody was laughing, imagining HEX could reach even 1 cent, right? And now we are so far ahead of that.
Yeah, so also when it comes to Pulse chain, back to your question, because now I thought a little bit more about that, I would say 5 to 7 years for Pulse chain to reach $1.
All right, so next question, just to talk a little bit more about the US555 Tour, but then, of course, maybe we can start with the TNA already.
TNA? It's only a TA.
Technical analysis?
Yeah, but it's not a technical and analysis.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Hex Life is saying, guys, have you been able to take some days off and chill? I hope so. Thank you guys for what you're doing for us.
There is no chilling with us, no. Only work.
There's no chilling with us. But you remember the start of the tour? We had like 1 month was already done, and sometimes we would have daily activities planned to go to tourist destinations, right? And we already can always cancel those days,
No
just so we
Yosemite
can plan.
Park, no Grand Canyon.
So we can
No.
plan out a little bit more. And I guess by now I got a little bit tired of the tour. So sometimes, yeah, just stay at home and the guys are doing shit. But for me, I stay at home and organize and, yeah, close my eyes sometimes.
Yeah, David yesterday made like all this light setup, for example, and I went with the rest of the team to the Space Center here in Houston, and then to the shopping mall as well. So you had a cheaper day yesterday.
I guess so. So I do not have too much from the chat. We are doing the TA now, the technical analysis from the HEX line, and you guys now have the chance to think about a question and shoot us the a message so we can answer it here on live stream. So Patrick, what do you see here?
Yes, so here, as you can see in the screen share, we have here the HEX chart. I just put it in like from a year ago that we see the big picture in the daily charting here. So a year ago we were still like below 1 penny. So awesome if you already bought HEX below a penny. And I also want to show this line because it comes like really from back then, and it goes through all the dips here. So just to point out how old this upwards trend is, which broke here a little bit and is breaking like recently as well. That's why I'm saying, okay, right now it looks pretty good to buy some more HEX as well, because let's go back in time. If you go back in our live streams, it was around this zone here. I don't remember the exact date, where we said, okay, if HEX falls down this 33 cent support, then we expect like the same thing which happened already 6 times before that, when we just had those corrections, you know, those over 60% corrections when it comes to HEX. Then so here the support was broken. We said, okay, if support doesn't come again up, then we go here with our zone. We put it in here, our potential buy zone of Crypto Sparbuch, and it only broke here a little bit. And then in this time frame where the hack of HEX 19 took place, and as well the other hack of a centralized exchange. So don't keep money on centralized exchanges. And then we had like this run up to this till the start of the sacrifice phase. Some whales pushed the price up to get a higher volume, a higher value by sacrificing their HEX. Got a sell off as well, and now we are here on the 22 cent support line, still in this buy zone around the long time uptrend as well. So let's see how that works out. Let's go a little bit here in the future. Yep. So what can we expect? So either we see that this uptrend continues during the sacrifice set, or we see like that we continue here in a sidewards duration. What are your in and outs when you buy HEX right now? Your outs are, okay, that HEX will have this double in a few months, which could lead to more sell pressure. But guys, if you buy HEX right now at 20 or 22 cents, then HEX after the fork could go down here to this. Sorry?
Bless you.
Thank you. Could go down until 11 cents, and you would still be on the break-even mark. So just keep that in mind, that yes, there is more sell pressure after the fork because everybody doubled their coins, but how deep could it really fall? Because remember, usually with announcements, cryptocurrency prices tend to rise. So we can easily have, because here is 25th of February, so this is the end of the sacrifice phase, and then we still have like at least 1 month, I would say, or at least 3 weeks before we start with the pulse chain. So maybe end of April and so on. So here, you know, this upwards trend. So if we go like here sidewards, then I expect that with the announcement we at least touch the upwards trend from the downside. So there is a lot of potential to go into HEX right now. And remember, guys, last summer, I was one of the first ones who said, okay, if we fork the Ethereum chain, there is no more value for HEX on the Ethereum chain afterwards. But I was wrong on that, and I changed my mind on that because I still see that the whales don't care about the Ethereum fees, that the Ethereum fees are crazy, but they don't get more and more and more and more crazy. So those crazy times we already had a couple of times in the last 9 months. So, and that people are still seeking for yield. So with maybe we see a change in staking behavior towards the Pulse chain. What that means is that there would be more yield to get on the Ethereum chain. So I still expect that HEX on the Ethereum chain will have value in the future as well and won't just die off.
Oh yeah, in the beginning you said it already. We thought so because we are looking at what we are doing, right? What is Patrick and I are doing? What is CryptoSpy doing? Patrick, what do you do with your stakes that end, let's say next year on the Ethereum chain? What do you do with that?
What I do with HEX on the Ethereum chain?
Yes, sir.
I would either put it on the Pulse chain over the bridge and then have more coins to stake there for 5555 in the end of my ladder, or
this is so funny because this would be exactly the same thing that I would do, and all the Hexicans that I talk to, they are saying the same.
And for example, a short-term stake on the Ethereum chain for a month or two would not be so much fee heavy.
Yep.
And then if there is more staking behavior on the Pulse chain than on the ETH chain, so that there is more APY to get on the ETH chain, I'm still thinking of do short-term staking on the ETH chain as well.
Oh, really? Well, I do short-term staking on the Pulse chain for sure.
Yeah, they are for sure. You have the same bag there. So
this brings me to the next question, though. You are onboarding people in masses, right? Where do you onboard them in the future?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, on the Pulse chain.
Of course, and all the other Hexicans will do that too, because in the future you have to decide you want to be on a Pulse chain or Ethereum.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I expect a higher APY over the years on the Ethereum chain, on HEX on the Ethereum chain, and whales will take that.
Exactly, because the whales do not care too much about the fees, right?
Yeah, we just today or yesterday I saw at HEX Whalepod about over $4 million worth of HEX were staked for 4,000 days or something like that. It's like 2,700 T-shares.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's still, whales are there, and whales don't care about the fork or about ETH chain and Pulse chain. They still go in with their millions of US dollar, buy their HEX, and then stake it out for a long time. Doesn't matter if there is a fork coming in a few months or not.
Hex.fan is saying Houston is going to be the biggest 5555 road trip event. I hope so.
I hope
Miami
so.
was really, really big though, and the Houston people would have to notch it up a little bit more to bring more people. So bring your friends and family, bring everybody you want to onboard and want to be rich in the future. That will be awesome, amazing for Houston.
Yeah, so guys, if there are any more crypto-related questions, please ask them now in the chat. If there is anything in regards to the HEX price or PulseX, let's talk about that. Otherwise, guys, we are about short-term streams, to give you the informations and don't talk around it like for hours and hours. We are already 50 minutes in, so we will wait until you guys can ask a few more questions and then wrap it up for today. Don't forget to connect yourself with Let's Talk About HEX on Telegram or Black Hexican on Twitter if you're interested in one of our OG meetups and so on. And tell everybody who is in Texas, in one of our cities we are meeting, to look up freedomtv.info and RSVP for our workshops.
Exactly. And then, Patrick, I got another question here from before.
Yeah.
No, I forgot though what it was. You just mentioned it and then I remembered. Now it's gone, I guess.
Okay, about our events or about crypto?
It was definitely crypto. Let me search for it. No.
A little bit down more, no? Or from the beginning or...
Now I remember. Well, we talked
Okay.
about the price, and you said how good it would be to buy the dip now. But somebody was saying he would love to buy Hex. Unfortunately, the fees are so high. So, what would you recommend to new people where to buy and when to buy, and to avoid the high fees right now?
I mean, just go on the weekend maybe, because I'm still not a fan of centralized exchanges. Hex is on some centralized exchanges where you could theoretically open up an account with them and then buy or send ETH or USDC there and buy your Hex, and then by sending them away you still lose like 1,000 Hex or something like that. So with only a couple of $100 of volume, it's hard. It's really hard. Then I would rather just buy USDC and sacrifice it for PulseX.
That would be a possibility. Buying USDC.
Or no,
Are there centralized exchanges that are in your mind?
I would buy even Ethereum because it's the cheapest one to send around. And then I would still keep like 0.01 Ethereum, which is about $30, in order to have a little bit of PLS as well in the beginning to be able to transact.
It's just a mess right now with the gas fees. It's really hurting crypto adoption entirely.
It's also a little hard, you know, if I only have a few $100, you know, then I would just work a little more and save a little more until I.
So Apex Crypto is saying buy on Atomic Wallet. It's decentralized, and this is something you could consider, right? By going to a wallet like that, or even to a centralized exchange where they sell Hex.
Yeah, you always need to go like through all the steps, because you can buy on a centralized exchange. It will be like with less fees, but then you might need 1,000 Hex to make the withdrawal from the centralized exchange. Then another option would be like to buy Hex on the Polygon network on Matic, but then you still need to bridge it to the Ethereum chain in order to get the copy of it. So it's a little tricky, and in the end you still need your coins in your wallet on the Ethereum network in order to get the copy.
I would like to bring up my screen share because we have something really interesting here in the chat. So I will do that really quick. And here you see the Twitter of Agape Hex. He's the video director of our team and producing a lot of content. And just recently he thought about a new project, and this is what he wants to do. He wants to sponsor a Daytona 500 team. It's going to be the driver JJ Jelly, and they are really, really good actually, and really known in the sport. And what Agape Hex Ricky wants to do is to find somehow and fund NASCAR sports team. We would need about 600k in order to do that. So the idea is to find 600 Hexicans that donate like $1,000, and then we would have the deal done. Over millions of people see that sport every single minute. So you definitely want to do that. In the chat already, I saw Ricky here saying. Where is he? Oh, Ricky is saying we are at 90k race for the Daytona 500, boys. I think this is an amazing milestone so far. 90,000k race already, so it's only 1/5 that we still need. If you want to donate here, please contact Agape Hex or go to our Telegram chat. Just make sure you contact us, because it's not the usual donation address for this specific project here. It will be a different address. If you want to help, just shoot us a message and we can make things happen. All right, so what else is there to talk about? Let's see if we have some more people in the chat asking questions, and if not, then we would already end the stream.
Yeah,
Franklin's saying, put my name on the car and I'm in. Well, Franklin, I believe the only name that will be on the car will be richardhart.com, because the idea is to not really promote cryptocurrency like Hex Pulse and PulseX, even though this would be amazing, but to promote the most important thing that we have, which is our mentor, richardhart.com, right? But Franklin, you could still do something, right? Maybe $1,000 wouldn't be too much for you. Hex Softball is saying, come on, only 46 likes. Yes, guys, please like and subscribe. This also pumps your bags. Ash is saying, Vitalik interview today states 2 years we will see Ethereum fees of 5 cents each. I laughed. Well, yeah, Vitalik said already a couple of years ago that Bitcoin shouldn't have fees of 5 cents. This is ridiculous. And now he is in the same situation pretty much.
Yeah, so guys, let's see how long it will take for Ethereum 2.0 to come out. I expect that also to be delayed. You know, software is hard and always. So even with a genius like Richard Hart cannot like keep his time frame when it comes to new softwares, I don't expect that the Ethereum guys can do. So don't think that this is like put it in stone if there is like some announcement from the Ethereum founder.
A question from Franklin and Patrick, have you tried testnet?
Only a little bit, honestly. So I haven't tried testnet v2 with swapping on PulseX.
But I've seen it. It goes beautiful, really, really fast. You click, it's there.
I saw like some people playing around with it. You know, like for example, Crypto Profeter, a Spanish streamer, made like an awesome video for it. So thanks for that to you to translate as well, like to different languages. I guess that's a really important part for all those people who are not that good when it comes to the English language.
Yep. And what I'm doing right now is opening up the Agape HEX project again, because I want to show a little bit better in detail what we are doing there. Yeah, but I believe this is not the correct one I'm having here. Somehow it's the wrong one. Let's close that. Too many windows open right now. Sorry, guys. We will be there really, really quick. I just saw that Agape is already sharing what this sponsorship is including, and I found this was really, really interesting. So let's go there. Here we go. So let's bring it up the screen so the people can see it. And here we go. Would any Hexicans be interested in helping sponsor an entire NASCAR team for the Daytona 500 in February, raising 600k? I figure 600 Hexicans, 1k a piece. Hex on the car, maybe even Richard Hart's YouTube page on it as well. Top 10 donators get to attend. DM if you are interested, and then you find all the other things here that are important for the sponsorship. What I like the most is, of course, that the biggest 10 donators get to be attending the NASCAR Daytona 500. I would love to go. We will definitely be there, right?
You know that? No.
No?
No.
Didn't we yesterday say after Bahamas we will go?
No, we didn't. We said we spent the weekend on the Bahamas.
Well, sometimes our plans changes really quick, and I'm not informed what is going on. Anyways, I will definitely watch it on TV then, I guess.
Yeah, and you know that Agape put a question mark to that, so it's not like if we reach the 600k that the 10 top contributors automatically get 10 tickets.
Oh yeah, no,
it's like top 10 donors get to attend? Question mark. So as a question from him in the street.
This was posted on the January 18th. It's like 2 days ago, and I guess the plans have already changed a little bit. Everything is in the works right now, and if you guys are interested, shoot Agape HEX a message, and then you can talk a little bit more about this topic. I think it's really, really interesting what he is doing. Already 90k raised. I think this is amazing. If we get to 600k, if we close this deal, we bring HEX to $7 next month.
Let's do that, guys. Let's do that. All right. Do we have any more questions from the chat? Otherwise, I guess I hope you liked the live stream and everything is great out there.
So Archie is saying the guys are amazing. Thank you. Andrew has no question. So thanks for all you're doing for the community. Thank you, Hex Heart. You guys are amazing. We are having so much fun doing the streams. Thank you guys for being in the chat and making so much noise. It really helps that you like and subscribe, and do not forget to click the bell because you want to be notified when we do the live stream. So besides that, I think we are pretty much over with our live stream for today. No more question here. Do you have something to say for the end?
No. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to connect with us, you know, when it comes to OG meetups or Vegas or whatever, you know, what we went through today. So have a great weekend. Hope to see you soon in one of the Texas workshops in the coming months, tomorrow Houston or Dallas or Austin or San Antonio. And that's it. Have a great weekend and goodbye from our side.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.